Hey guys, little snooze with Crypto Marine, local and international. Philadelphia rapper who dug up enemy's grave shot dead. Philadelphia rapper YBC Doll, who went viral for digging up one of his enemy's graves, has been shot and killed. The Philadelphia Inquirer reported that the incident took place on Friday, August 23rd, on the 55 block of North 6th Street in Olney, where Doll was shot multiple times in the chest and his right hand. The rapper, Nay Abdul Vix, 25, was then transported to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead 20 minutes after the shooting. A white Hyundai SUV, which was spotted at the scene of the crime, is being held by investigators to explore possible connections to the deadly shooting. Authorities considered Vix the ringleader of a dangerous gang based in West Philadelphia known as the Young Bad Chasers. Vix, rapping as YBC Doll, went viral for digging up the grave of a deceased foe from a rival gang. YBC had been embroiled in a war with about 6 other local gangs when his clip caught the attention of the masses. Let me tell you guys something. When you do something like that, you disrespect the dead. We have seen this act repeat itself over and over. Young Folio is dead. I believe he went and pee on one of the dead and disrespect the dead. This one went with a shovel and dig over one of his enemies' grave. Like, there was a limit. There was a line you don't cross. When somebody is dead, they're no longer breathing, they're no longer with us, they cannot defend for themselves. But one thing you have to remember, they have families, they have friends, they have group of people they were acquainted to. So when you take it in your own hands for a viral moment, for clouds and recognition, to go dig on somebody who is dead, who's no longer breathing, then you don't think this was going to happen to you somehow one day, then you're out of your mind. In science action, there was always a reaction. Up, down, left, right. They're always an opposite of something. So if you think you're so strong, you're so big, you will do a certain dumb shit and don't think the enemy is not going to come after you to seek some kind of revenge, then you're out of your mind. To the parents of the young men and women these days, teach your kids to educate themselves, go to school, stay away from gang members, leaders, or whatever the hell they do. Because being in a gang leader, being a person who's standing in the corner, selling, dealing, do whatever, 3 things I strongly believe that can happen to you. It's either you ended up being dead, being behind bar in prison, or 6 feet below, you are dead. So when you give birth to a young black man or a young black woman, you have to say to yourself, where do I see this child 18 years from now? What kind of moral support can I give this child? What kind of education can I help this child get to get out of the situation we're in right now? For you to allow this child to hang out with the other older fools that's been around, not doing shit for themselves, okay? Ended up in gangs, doing stupid things, they are for the street. What do you expect that's going to happen to your kid? Don't you think him being disrespectful to somebody who's dead, somehow he was going to pay for it with his life, knowing the kind of lifestyle he was dealing with? When those guys do a certain things, whether it's Julio Folio or this young man, YBC, in the back of their head, have they thought about the consequences? Have they thought about, oh, shoot, I have done this to somebody who's no longer breathing, that cannot defend themselves, but damn it, They have gang related, they have families, they have fans, they have people that can retaliate, that can seek revenge. So this young man supposedly was sitting in the back of his car, relaxing, I guess, enjoying life, thinking about what to do the next day. And somebody come up, however, allegedly, and shot him dead. And we cannot be surprised knowing the kind of lifestyle gang members are living. It's a dangerous way to live your life. It's a dangerous way. And, when you see young men like this, handsome young men that can produce beautiful black kids are taken so shortly in life because of the dumb mistake they made to choose the wrong path in life, you ask yourself, who gave birth to those young men? Who are the mothers, who are the fathers who did not encourage these young men going to school, educate themselves, and have a better lifestyle instead of joining the gang? Because looking at this young man, beautiful, handsome young man, he's dead. He's no longer with us because of the choice he made in life. Again, it's unfortunate. We are losing our young men, our young women, and dumb, stupid choices they made in life because those parents that choose to have them were not ready to have children. They were not ready to be parents because their parents did not teach them the right thing. How can you bring up good, young, productive human being when your parents did not give you what you needed to teach your kids? You cannot even get them out of the lifestyle they in because you were not provided with that kind of lifestyle. Or don't you think President Obama grew up in a place where he's seen a lot of stuff, but he didn't choose that kind of lifestyle? He chose to go to school, educate himself. Don't you think VP Kamala Harris, soon to be president, did not see a lot of stuff in her life growing up, working at McDonald's? But you know what? She worked above those difficulty situations and made something for herself. Go to school, educate herself, and become somebody that one day probably will be president of the United States. But when we give birth to somebody, when we're looking at this baby on the third day from the hospital, they give you this baby in a blanket, you got to say to yourself, damn, what am I going to do for this child to have a better life than I do right now? And unfortunately, the crisis is going to continue because the older rappers are not saying anything when they hear crime, stuff like this going on. The parents, the mother, father are not saying much. They just grieving their loss and not saying anything to prevent that from happening again. In less than 2 months, we have 2 rappers gunned down. Where is this going? Can we put an end on that? Why we have to have gang members? Why people are dying every second? It's not worth it. Subscribe. Thank you for watching.